I have another question there, in regards to your years of competing, right? You said you just kept going, just trying to improve on your previous physique, right? And that right there is what a lot of athletes, I'll say have misunderstanding on, trying to compare themselves with other people and then just keep going without any purpose, right? Without any goal. Oh, I'm trying to get my pro card. Okay, you get your pro card, then what? Right. So can you just let us know, how was it for you after all the shows you've done and you got your pro card? What was the difference, right? And remember the conversation we had where you were like, there's pro and super pro. So what is the difference and what does it take to be a super pro?
That was a lot of questions within the question. So what changed after you got your pro card and now you gotta get on stage with ladies that got 5, 10, 15 years more experience than you?
Yep, yes.
On
yes.
stage. What was that like?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a hardcore competitor. So turning pro for me doesn't make much of a difference because I have laser focus. It doesn't matter if there's amateurs or pros. It's all the same to me. Okay. Laser focus. I don't change. I'm the type of person, I don't care if it's, who's some of the famous people in, I don't care if it's Linda Murray on stage. We have to go to battles. That's my approach. Yes. Does that make sense? You're bringing your game. Because I'm bringing my game. That's my approach. But when you do go pro, there's other people that are just like that and have been doing it longer. So now I know that everything that I've done has to go even to another level of perfection with myself. And that's what I do. I'll poke it. The diet will be more granular. The workouts will be more focused. The posing, believe it or not, with all of my experience with dance, gymnastics, and posing, you probably think, what else can you fix? Oh, we're going to fix it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Detail.
Half an inch up on your leg, half an inch down.
Half an inch down.
Makes a lot of difference on what it shows.
Wow. Because you might have me on maybe the legs. That happens. Right?
Yes. Yes.
But if you can't display those legs, I'm going to come get you. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
It sounds egotistical, but it's the technique, it's the grind, it's the where can I gain an advantage? In a pro show, that's what you're trying to do, because that becoming a pro is one thing. Yes. That's what makes you a super pro. That even if you got your pro card, you know it's not enough. You know you need more. You have to master it to the point when you hit your pose, you don't even think about it.
It's not even an issue.
Okay. Yes, I'm writing that down. Yes. Yes.
That's when you become unconscious competent. You don't think about it. You just do it because you have done it so many times. Yes. You have worked on that craft so long, so much, that when you are on that stage, the only thing you know how to do is that you've been practicing to do. Nothing else gonna come out. Just that.
It's like you're a racing car and you're idling. You just waited. Yes. You're just waiting for them to say green.
Boom, you're off. Yes. I know
off. Yes. Yeah, that's how it is. And when you're a super pro, you, like you said, you don't really, there's no fear. You're doing what you do because it's mastered. Eating what you have to eat is what you eat. Doing the workout that you have to do is that's what you do.
Right. And I would think from an observer and a coach, and knowing a lot of the friends that we have in the industry that are, I consider them super pro. Like, Rico, I consider Rico super pro.
Rico's a super pro.
I think everybody consider Rico super pro, right?
Yes, yes, he is. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you got others like Martin Daniels. I consider him a super pro, 2-time world champion in WBN. Robbie Mays. Yes. ladies and guys. There's more. I mean, think about
More. I just can't think of everybody now.
Marshall Johnson, for
Yes,
instance,
yes.
or Will Usher.
Will Usher.
These
Yeah.
are guys and ladies that have mastered their and continue to even tweak it some more. So they are the best package every single time. So you ask one of those guys after they win the Olympiad or world champion or NBA, they say, so what you gonna bring next year? What you gonna improve? Oh yeah, they'll tell you. Oh, I got a lot to work on.
Yes, yes, yes. And
But they just won.
they just won. See, a pro, whether you want to call it a super pro, an experienced pro, see, the goal is never achieved.
Yes.
You understand? It's never. Getting your pro card is just. I mean, it's wonderful, but
it's your ticket.
It's your ticket in to now a bigger playground.
Yes, yes.
And the tweaks that they do, they might be minimal, but it becomes huge.
Huge, makes a huge difference.
Huge. When it's time to display, it becomes so important. That little fix, that little tweak, that little, notice, and they themselves will tell you, oh no, I got a lot of stuff to work on. Even though they just won.
Wow.
And they're also very, 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 you'll notice one thing about it, super pro. They are very quiet competitors.
Yes, yes. No, yes, that part right there. You don't hear them and they just boom, show up, show there. You're like, what?
They show there, you don't know they're coming.
That's on purpose. That is on purpose.
Wow.
I have some of them that have told me, don't tell them I'm going in.
Yeah, don't tell anybody I'm
coming. I ain't going to be.
Wow, no, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Thank you for that. And then
their process, their system, their focus, their visualization, all of that we trying to teach people to do, they do. Yes. And some. When you think you are working hard, there's somewhere working harder than you.
Yes. Yes.
When you think you don't need to post anymore, they're over there posing for hours to get that muscle to display the right way.
Yes.
And it's constant. So by the time they say I'm going to do that show, they have spent hundreds of hours preparing that one event.
Yes. Yes.
They're very eccentric people, Eli.
Yeah. Yes. You just said something, right? Like when you think you're working hard, someone out there is working harder. When you think you're posing, someone out there is posing harder. And like you stated earlier in the interview, right, where you say everyone that showed up on stage wants to win, regardless of what their physique looks like. Regardless of what it is, as long as they're on that stage, they want to win. So that leads me to my next questions about managing expectations. Expectations versus reality, because again, like you said, right, a lot of athletes, just first-year athletes especially, they just go like, because I work harder, I should win, because I did this. So as an athlete and as a coach, how do you manage expectations?
Oh yeah, that was one of your questions. Lessons we've learned coaching athletes and competitors.
Yes.
I said, I asked for what the expectation is. And soon after, I asked, what are you willing to do to get it? And then I managed where they came from to where they're going to go, right? And I'm not one for saying, no, you can't do something.
Yes.
But I'm one for holding you accountable for that one something that you say you're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
You see?
Yes.
So you don't expect to go there and kill it, but you're over here having chips and taking a break. Right? They're telling me why you didn't win. I said, you see that doesn't work. She probably didn't have the chips. She probably didn't take the break. She probably trained longer.
Yes.
Practice. And you believe because you're the one suffering the pain that is you. Now you could visualize it, you could want it, you could dedicate it, and you still could come in short, but you have to manage expectation. You came in short against who? For instance, for instance, you met Tim. Tim is one of my bodybuilders.
Yes.
When he first became a pro in the PNBA, it was all the pros there. It was Rico was there. It was Martin Daniel was there. It was Strong was there. These are guys that have more experience than him. So when they asked us, "Oh, are you going to bring him to the Olympia?" I said, "Absolutely not."
We were in our car, and Rico came up to us and said, "Oh, so now he turns pro. So you're going to bring him to the Olympia?" I said, "No, he's not competing against you. He's not ready. He's not ready for you. He's not ready for you." Rico looked at me with a little bit of smile.
Yes.
He said, "Because what does a super pro do? I told you they're quiet."
Yes, yes. So you see right there when you said no, right? Sorry to cut, but I just needed to ask a question real quick. Right there when you said no, right? A lot of athletes would be like, "Oh, are you doubting me, coach? Do you think I can do it?" So what was the reaction, and how were you able to, explain that to the athlete?
From Timmy?
Yes, like they're not ready. Like not just even him, but any athlete that try to, I wouldn't say over ambitious, but like, "Oh yes, my first year in the Olympia, I can take out the super pros." How do you tell them, "Hey, manage it"?
I explained their level they are. They did great. You look fantastic. But it's another level above this level that you're not yet. That you're not. And to step you into that platform without you being ready is negligent on my part. And all it's going to do is destroy your confidence and probably set you back mentally, because the worst thing you could do to a just became pro person, put them in the wrong show where they go from high to very low. Okay?
Yes.
It's hard to take someone that was high up here about their success and they just drop to the ground because they did not succeed, and then lift them up. Because now you got to keep working on the atomic habit, and they're going to keep seeing what they failed at, not what they succeeded at. So now we got a problem. We got to work you back to a place where you feel that you could succeed.
But that comes, all right, so we have somebody that either won their pro card or won their class. Let's say they didn't get a pro card, but they won.
Yes.
And usually stuff like this happens with people that are beginner athletes.
Yes.
These don't really happen so much with people that have done 5, 6, 7 shows.
Yes.
Usually they've had enough practicing. So usually you're talking about people that have done 1 or 2 shows. And within those 1 or 2 shows, they've been successful. So they don't know what it's like to not be successful.
Yes.
So now they're, in a sense,
Positive.
They're positive. You don't want to take that down. But see, here's also where the trust comes in. They need to trust you as a coach. And if you're dealing with, for instance, a client that has a hard time with control, you might have those issues with them.
Wow.
They trust you and trust your guidance. And Timmy, for instance, and other female competitors that I've had, they trust what I'm telling them. And if they've gotten their pro card, and let's say they initially want to activate it, or they'll ask me my opinion, and I'll say, "I'm proud of you. I'm so happy you got your pro card," because you don't want them to get off of their high.
Yes.
But you need more show experience.
Wow.
And a lot of the times when I say that to them, it makes a lot of sense to them. They'll say, "You're right. I can't even believe this happened. Like, I wasn't expecting this necessarily."
Yes.
And so when they do more shows by your guidance, they say, "I'm happy you told me to do that, because now I feel like I have more shows under my belt." And see, that builds the trust. You understand?
Yes.
That builds the trust and the guidance. And Timmy does trust. So anything that Cesar and I suggest, Timmy trusts that.
Yes. Yes.
Not only that, you see, I deal a lot with the husbands and the wife. They are backstage or in the audience. So I get their feedback, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I get to be told what they think about their wife or about their husband they just competed. And just about everybody comes to me and say, thank you. Everything you told her came true. Everything you did worked. Everything you said, it happened. I said, yeah. Of course, I'm a Gemini, so I'm a little more cocky. Say, yeah.
Yeah, that's a Gemini, you know, but
yeah, thank you, but I already knew that, right?
Yes, yes.
But the idea is that you have to build them and keep them high. And we could say like a boxer, right? A boxer coach, don't just put the boxer into any fight. It picks his fight and builds them up until he's ready for the championship.
Yes.
Not before, because if they do it before, we know it's gonna be catastrophic.
Yes.
Prep is it's more of a mental coaching.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental coaching. They can do the diet and do the workouts. The average person can be very consistent with that.
Yes.
There's a lot of mental coaching because they've got to grow, and you have to make sure that your clients are healthy up here, healthy, and you got to make sure you're coaching them in a healthy mindset.
Yes.
Because sometimes when they're kind of going down, you're like, no, I don't want you to go there. Don't go there. Or they'll have friends that maybe the way their coach coaches them is a little different. And, they all talk and they'll come over and say, oh, well, my coach says this or my coach says that. And I said, that's great. That's fine. Or they'll compare notes and I'll say, but we're going to take this approach.
Yes.
And I don't want you to think in terms of that. I want you to be more open. I want you to be more positive. Like everybody's first show, and I'm sure a lot of the girls have told you this, maybe yes, maybe no. I always say your first show, babe, because you don't know what's going on the other side, is your recital. It's your recital.
Yes, yes.
I said, don't worry about anything else. Just it's your recital. Once you go through that process and everything that they've taught you, Saya, Eli, and what I've told you with the posing, you're going to understand now on the other side. And then you're going to be ready for the next one. You're going to say, I know what I need to do. I get it now.
You got confidence because you got knowing competent. You are aware.
You got knowledge of what you need to
do and repeat to do. That way, eventually will become natural to you.
Yes.
And but again, the process, the system, the trust is important. Those are important blocks of value that need to be implemented so everyone has a good partnership, collaboration.
Yeah.
Because I need to trust you as the coach too, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know what you're doing at home.
Yes. Yes.
I need to trust that you're eating your vegetables and eating your fish and drinking your water and doing your cardio. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I need to trust that you're doing that because the next thing I'm going to do, it has to have to do that you did that, right?
Yes, so that is true.
After changing your diet, bringing you into peak week and doing all this stuff. Hey, have you been doing that? Yeah, okay. Because if you didn't do that, if I got you on 14 or 1,500 calories, for instance, but you're eating 3,000 calories, but then you said things are not working out. I said, what do you do, right?
Yes.
I know that you're not doing what I'm telling you to do.
That is true.
Impossible.
Yes.
Right? I know you're not doing that. It's impossible. And sometimes we've done that if you look at each other like this.
Like
who are you kidding? You're just doing how I'm this thing all the time. But and then you hear the word, you hear that my body is different. Yeah, my body doesn't respond.
Is that part two?
Okay, listen, we're definitely gonna go into part two. But
keep going.
But
yeah, let's keep going.
The trust goes both ways.
Yes, yes, yes. No, I love that part right there, especially as a coach, right? Because again, me and myself as an athlete, sometimes it's like, okay, you know, my coach has to be able to trust me, right? Because he's not there with me when I'm working out or when I'm eating, you know, like where, you know, again, like you said, right, everything that an athlete feeds back to the coach determines, you know, the next step of action, you know, what we're going to do or what's not, right? But at the same time, you know, answering the question of the expectation versus reality, you know, I love that right there, where you're right, we keep them on the high right there, but that trust right there is very important, right? Well, again, going back to the very beginning, where if there's that trust is not established between a coach and an athlete, then it just, you know, disrupts everything further down, right? It disrupts a lot of where we could go. Now we're just stuck right here, you know. Wow.
Right, because that beginning creates the destruction of the trust, and therefore you can't coach it. And so the word is coachable.
Yes.
You gotta be coachable, and you gotta be a good coach. Yes. If you're not coachable and not listening to anything I say because you know better, or you heard someone else does it this way,
yes,
or someone else does it that way, then we not gonna succeed, because I have my plan. I have a plan that I'm following, and you are not in my plan.
Yes, yes.
If the word is fail to plan or plan to fail.
Yep,
it's just not gonna be, it's not gonna be compatible. It's gonna be a constant.
Wow. Wow. No, thank you very much for that. And then lastly, you know, before we round this section up, the question I have is, you know, because we started this, you know, on the mental side of bodybuilding, bodybuilding with a purpose, how, you know, all these different discussions, topics we talk about, the trusting the process, managing expectation and reality. You know, the final question I have for both of you, this first part is for Cesar, is as a coach, right? Seeing the mental effect this has on people, right? On the positive side, how does that make you feel? And, you know, how does that, you know, the approach to bodybuilding, how does that make you feel as a coach, seeing that, okay, bodybuilding saved people's life, you know, took them to the next level in life? And the other question is for Nicole, is like, as an athlete, how has bodybuilding affected your life positively in other aspects?
Well, as the coach, let's call it now as a teacher, right? Because as an educator, let's call it like that. I'm a teacher. This is, I call, when people come see me or come see Nicole, I say, this is a competition school. We do the diet, the training, the management, the app, the posing, the suits, the trunks, the shoes. We do it all. We go backstage. We help you backstage. We help you, you know, and then I'll go to the front of the stage and I'm coaching you when you're on stage. So I like to see the evolution of a human mind when they go from, I hope I could do that. I have a goal. I wish I could compete. They tell you this. I have a dream that I wish I could do a show one day and get into that small bikini, or I want to be a bodybuilder, and you say, okay, and you take them through the process. And then you see that person converting and changing into an athlete. They eat and sleep this thing. They eat and sleep. They speak the language of bodybuilding. They speak the language of training. They understand what we're talking about when we talk about macros and carbs and proteins. And they understand all this. That when they go for not knowing what the hell we talking about.
Yes.
What language is that? What's a carb? Potatoes a carb? Oh. We're talking about and to a person that is completely aware of their nutrition, their goals of eating, their body, control of their life when it comes to that, because 89% of the population has no control of their eating habit or their nutrition.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
And when you do bodybuilding and when you do this stuff, you become the 1% of the population that looks like that and do this.
Yes, yes.
At this level. So That's my fun is to watch the caterpillar
Because
turn
of
into butterfly.
butterfly.
I like to watch the caterpillar turn into butterfly. I am trust. I don't know if I could do it. I did it. I can't believe I did that.
Yes.
I was able to do. I was a bodybuilder. I was doing much muscular though. I said yes.
Yeah, he does. He loves to.
So I enjoy that. I sit there and have a great time.
Yeah.
Watching and seeing. Do you believe now? And I know when they believe. I know what process are they in when they believe. See, a lot of times they train me, but they don't believe yet that they could do this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But I know when they hit that, but the look in their eyes, I say, "Oh, you believe that? Good.
Yes. Yes.
Let's get it."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So your question was, how has it affected me positively, bodybuilding?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's been very positive on my life. Believe it or not, my mom's a dietitian.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm very, very aware of nutrition. So I've been training for a long time, but when I got into bodybuilding, it's like I understood macros, I understood caloric intake, I understood all of that, but I didn't really know how to put it together in a way to get your body to look like that. And so once I got that education to me, I'm just so happy that I have it.
Yes.
It's so valuable. So, it's also helped me where being a dancer and loving to be on stage and entertain people, it was a way for me to come back and embrace that stage again.
Wow. Yes. Yes.
So, and I love that. It also.
At what age you started competing, Nicole?
40.
Wait. Can you repeat that? Wait. Can you repeat that?
So, I started dancing at 7, gymnastics at 7, but I started competing in fitness at 40.
Wow, at 40. Wow. Okay.
So, getting my body to look that way again for me was, I wanted to see that, and most women do. No longer I had to look at a magazine anymore. I could look at myself. That was huge. And working out was kind of the same, just more intense.
Yes.
The dieting, that was great. So putting that all together and being back on the stage, I mean, it gave me a sense of purpose. Then taking a step back and having so many people wanting us to help them, that part of it, being a coach, has helped me tremendously, because I've seen the good things that I did as a competitor, and I've seen the not so good things that I did as a competitor. I see those in my athletes, and I'm able to go inside and say, "Ooh, that didn't look too good. I used to do that too."
Yeah.
Now I check myself, because I see a little bit of myself in these athletes.
Yes.
So now I realize what's attractive, what's not so attractive.
Yes.
So it's helped me help people. And then I love to help people. I love to teach them the T-walks. I love to do all those things. And then the next level that it's done for me is, believe it or not, now the posing trunks, the suits, the jewelry, the shoes.
Yes.
So it's like it's expanded. So it's affected me. It's made it so I have a business doing this. I love it. It's impacted me. And I've met so many people, such as yourself.
And it's giving back. See,
and giving back.
Again, the law of the universe, the karma, is to give back.
So this is in a sense my karma.
Give back. Because you get better when you give.
Yes. If you like to receive, you have to give. Giving starts the receiving process.
Yes. No, thank you very much for that. Especially that last part, right? A lot of people love to receive without giving, right? And that makes a whole lot of difference. Like the school of thought, and I believe myself and Sarah is, we give first. We give. And like you say, karma, the law of the universe, it comes back tenfold, times 2, multiple times to you. And, you know, it tells from everything both of you do. Thank you very much, you know, with the posing trunks. Because again, once you love what you do, it's not a work, it's not a job. It's just, you know, you're living your best life, you know, with a sense of fulfillment every day. And for me, you know, just watching what you do, especially with our athletes, teaching them the teamwork, is just so beautiful to just, you know, create something out of nothing. You know, you really have to have the vision for that, to do that. Not everyone can do that. You know, if you can't see it, then like we talked about, right? If you can't visualize it, then you can't achieve it. And for you to do that with even the posing trunk, just amazing, beautiful. Wow. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much for everything. And just lastly, for our viewers and listeners, just let them know where they can find you and what services you can provide for them.
Okay. Well, you can go to NCFFshowbodies.com. That's one website. That's for the posing and any other things you're looking for.
Yeah.
Then there's Nicole Carrasco, figurefitness.com. That's for all of your competition gear for men and women. And you can see us on Instagram and Facebook. What were you going to say, Cesar?
YouTube. If you want to see Nicole performing, go to YouTube. You got plenty of performance for Nicole on stage in competition.
Yes.
And NCFF Show Body on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, what is it again on YouTube?
NCFF Show Bodies.
Okay.
And at YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you could see.
Yeah, you can see videos. I even have we did a lot back then. I even have a couple of cooking videos too.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll be looking at that too. All right. But no, thank you very much for your time. No,
well, thank you for having us, Eli. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
I hope you have us back again, because there's so much more that, you know, we can discuss and talk about.
Yes.
It's a good conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's our experience after 13 years coaching people and competing, and you know, and what the industry how the industry has changed and where it's going. You know, it's a lot to talk about.
Yes,
but
it is.
You know, it's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But overall, the mindsets of people and how to help you, helping people. That's what you guys are doing. You're helping people come out and change their mindset on what they can believe could be achieved and what they're achieving.
Yeah. And the way you guys coach your athletes is really unique and wonderful, and positive, because I'm going to tell you that doesn't always happen.
Yes. Wow. Thank you.
So your athletes are very fortunate.
Yes, they are. Thank you very much for that. And definitely we will be back for part 2. You know, there's definitely more to talk about.